Today, I'm going to show you how to take this notebook and make it a bargain at $20,000 by turning it from product to offer. Offer is the difference between making $100,000 a month with a channel averaging 1,500 views per video versus making $4,000 to $12,000 a roller coaster income with a massive channel. I've invested about six figures in other people's programs and courses, and I also sold about $30 million online. And if you ask me to pick one thing responsible for all that, nuclear offer eats everything for breakfast. It is literally positioning what you have to sell as a brand new Ferrari that you want to sell for $1,000. And today, I will give you a checklist to craft an offer that sells without marketing and without selling. Let's start with an example that will help you understand what an offer actually is. This notebook, this is a product. What this notebook will do for you, that's the benefits. And how it will do, that's the unique mechanism. Now, but be honest, in your opinion, what is expensive for the notebook like this? Is it 20 bucks or 30 bucks? Well, most people probably wouldn't pay more than $30. Now, what if inside this notebook there is an A to Z process of how to get funded by Google for any online project you have in mind? Coaching, consulting, courses, anything proven to work 100 out of 100 times. What if on top of that, inside this notebook, you get a list of 500 people with their phone numbers and my endorsement, and you know that they're inside my $80,000 a year mastermind? What is now expensive for this notebook? Is it 10 grand or $15,000? What if on top of that, we add a 900,000 people email list? We write your copy and we promote your product or your service for 7 days to that list as a bonus for buying the notebook. How much is now this notebook worth? That is an offer. We took this notebook from being expensive at 30 bucks and we made it a bargain at $20,000. So let's see what we have done here and how you can do it for your products and services. In order to put your offer in a vacuum so people cannot compare you to others and go price shopping, offer to audience match is a must. So the question is, who are the right people? And there are two sides of this coin, so let's break them both down. A legendary marketer who wrote one of the best marketing books in history while behind the bars had a great exercise in his seminars, a competition with a burger stand. He gives his audience to pick any advantage over him they want. And they go usually for the best meat or the Wagyu beef or the best corner in town or the busiest street or the best staff or the Michelin star chef. When they're done, he goes, my turn, hungriest crowd. And that's game over. A kid with a lemonade stand next to a mall, that's one thing. And a kid with a lemonade stand next to a basketball court when it's 110 degrees outside, that's a completely different thing. Value of the ice cold lemonade 10x's next to the basketball court. But there is just one side of the coin. The other side is offer to audience match. If you miss that one, everything else falls apart. So what does that mean? Well, the hungriest crowd in town won't do anything for your premium beef burgers if they're all vegans. Or for example, if you have the best quinoa salad on the face of earth, but you offer it to a crowd of hungry lumberjacks. You have to have a perfect match between the offer and the audience you're getting in front of. For example, coursesaservice.com, people are literally emailing me saying, this is the best offer ever put together. But if I were to put that offer in front of 60-year-old ladies on Facebook instead of creators who want absolute freedom and control online, it would bomb. So if you skip this step, the entire offer literally falls apart. And this ties in perfectly to the next step. Sell people what they want and give them what they need. Listen, this one was a massive struggle for me for years. It's hard to grasp it because it feels unethical, so let's break it down. This comes from initial inertia. You cannot sell to people who never exercised the best meal plan and 6 months, 90 minutes in the gym for 5 days a week. It's way too much. Yes, I agree. That will give them results. But it will also give them results after you first get them out of bed. Then you get them to commit to, let's say, a week of healthy eating and walking, for example. And then to 3 weeks of healthy food and no equipment exercises. The goal is to give them a taste of how good the feeling is, how good the results can be without too much struggle, how good results can be with what they want versus what they need. Then you're getting gradually to 6 months of brutal workouts and 12% body fat. One of the guys I consider one of my earliest mentors, he used to say, I love meatballs, but when I go fishing, I use worms. So stuffing people with what we know works and will help them is doing them a huge disservice. We need to consider where they are, what their reality dictates as possible, and meet them there. They need bite-sized steps. There is a story of a guy who got famous for eating an entire airplane in 3 years. And the question is how? Well, he grinded it to dust and then sprinkled a bit of it over his every meal. One of the most famous ads in history promised a job that pays $100,000 a year. That's an equivalent of like $350,000 today. They ran an ad in all the biggest newspapers. This was before the internet, and it bombed. No one answered the ad. Then they hired the best marketing consultant in the world at the time to solve the issue. He reads the entire ad, and then he takes out the pen and scratches $100,000 and puts $72,000. They argued how it really is $100,000 job opportunity. He said, I believe you, but people don't. It ended up being one of the most successful ads in history of advertising. So give people what they want and then squeeze in what they need. Okay, let's now cover the value equation that has been popularized by Alex Hormozi and then move into the last two parts of the offer. On top, you have dream outcome and likelihood of happening. On the bottom, you have time and effort. In order to craft an offer that sells without selling, you need to avoid one massive mistake even seasoned pros are making. You need a perfect understanding of what your perfect customer feel is valuable versus what you feel is valuable. Because 9 out of 10 times, what we feel is valuable is equal to how hard it is for us to deliver. Here is an example to drive it home for you so you never fall prey to this. Would you consider more valuable me delivering milk to your doorstep every single day or me giving you access to 900,000 people email list? Never confuse, I will personally hop on a call with you and critique your business and do this, that, and the other versus here is a sales script PDF that can sell a ton for you. It's a night and day difference for both you and your customers. Okay, now that you have that, let's go into value equation. I'll use coursesaservice.com so you can see how it works in the real life example. This is the exact exercise I've done to create an offer with no cap. The dream outcome for my people who are creators online is this. First, they're sick and tired of an algorithm game. They're afraid of any changes that can cause their channel to get buried into the ground. They are spending way too much time dedicated for creating amazing content with disproportionately smaller returns. They hate promoting other people's products. Ad revenue is a complete joke, a roller coaster income with no predictability. They want a stellar product. They actually care about their audience. They don't want to record courses from scratch. They want an immediate way to monetize, and they want monthly recurring revenue. But they still want engagement with their people. They want to meet others who are on their level or above. They want the ability to contribute to courses, to put their voice and face in there to still have an impact on their audience. CourseAsAService.com literally checks all the boxes. It is done for you. You keep 100% profit, 100% of the monthly recurring revenue. You get to co-create the courses, live calls with people you enroll and people from other big creators, monthly call inside the CreatorsMind, no back-end hassle, no people, no staff, no management, no onboarding, premium quality, pre-recorded, new courses being added constantly. One subscription fee. So the dream outcome, 100 out of 100. Likelihood of happening, 100 out of 100. Time delay, 1 out of 100. Additional effort, 1 out of 100. That's a value equation of a stellar offer. You meet your audience where they are and give them something no one is willing to do for them in a way that they want. And this is the proof of want versus need debate. I understand that creators need a product and they should sit and bang on the keyboard for 6 months to create a stellar course, enroll people, fulfill promises, keep people happy, customer support. But creators don't want that. So I met them where they are. That's the reason why coursesaservice.com is changing the future, how monetization is done online. Okay, back to the last two parts of the offer. A selling vessel. This is a way you use to sell your product and your services or whatever you're selling online. Now, I know there are a lot of pros who will argue that how you sell has nothing to do with the offer. And I can tell you, after 11 years of doing this, that's dog shit. What you use to get attention will heavily influence the ability to sell the offer you put together. Giving away a free PDF to create an email list, then people wonder why my open rates are so low and why no one is buying. Well, because they got on your list to get one PDF for free. They are not interested in opening your emails and they are not interested in buying. So, for example, how you sell as a YouTuber, that's one thing. How you sell from cold ads, that's another. How you do it door to door, that's third. Cold calls, different ballgame. Webinars, beast in and of itself. One-on-one Zoom meetings, completely different. When you have KLT, no like and trust factor, from a YouTube channel and your viewers developed an emotional connection with you, if you go hardcore direct response, they will literally hate you. If you go YouTuber's way from cold ads to VSL, you'll be throwing advertising money into a meat grinder. And that will be influencing the way you add value to your offer. Remember, what they need is one part. The other one is what they want. One is from your perspective, the other is from theirs. Your people from YouTube, they want something, and people from cold ads, they want something completely different. If you, for example, throw into the mix a live call with yourself once a week from YouTube, they will love it. The value of that offer just 10x. And if you offer live calls with yourself from cold ads, they won't give a crap because they have no idea who you are and how that increases the value of the offer, and then the offer just became overwhelming. If I sell from cold ads, I'll get our head of media buyers to teach you Facebook ads once a week. That will rock. If you do it from YouTube, it will bomb. So the offer starts from the traffic and the sales process. You have to take everything into consideration when you're crafting an offer that sells without marketing and without selling. Now, the last thing that will single-handedly 5 to 20x any small to mid-sized business is this: the likelihood of action. Here's an example. Here are two problems. Problem number one, a dripping faucet in your kitchen sink. Problem number two, a burst pipe in your basement destroying family heirlooms. What is the likelihood of action for the first person and what is the likelihood of action for the second one? How much is the first one willing to pay to solve the dripping faucet? How much is the second one willing to pay to protect all the family heirlooms? Urgency of the problem is in direct proportion to the likelihood of action. Urgency of the problem is in direct proportion to the likelihood of action and the amount of money a person is willing to invest. High blood pressure, that's one thing. Clogged arteries, that's another. Sales funnel marketers running ads to their offers and ads not converting, that's one thing. They're hemorrhaging cash every minute. Starting an Instagram account, for example, from scratch, that's something completely different. Getting to 4% body fat for a bodybuilding competition, that's one thing. Toning up for the beach body, that's completely different. So do you see the difference? One group will throw money at you right now for you to solve their problem. Other ones, they will maybe do it one day. Hand on a burning stove versus AC overheating the room, that's completely different. So what you sell is not an offer. Your product, that's not the offer. Benefits, deliverables, features, that's not an offer. You can make any offer on the planet better by asking yourself a simple question. What can I do to make this a complete no-brainer for a specific group of people? How do I turn expensive into how do I give you money now? Offer to audience match. If you miss this one, nothing else would matter. Consider the way you're selling as an integral part of the offer, influencing the deliverables. And lastly, what is an urgent problem for what type of audience? Take a screenshot of this and use it as an offer checklist. If you feel like procrastination and self-sabotaging thoughts got the best of you, take a free email mini course as a gift from me. 5 lessons guaranteed to change the way you see success and how it is achieved. then take a look at coursesasservice.com if you want to monetize any audience you have on any platform instantly. And lastly, if you want a proven method for content that resonates with your perfect customers, this video here on Escape and Arrival Framework is what you should consider watching next.